live stream, I thought today that I will take you along with me as I meal plan. So let's see what we got. So I'll give it a couple of seconds just to see if there's anyone who will join on. Let's see. Don't know what the delays are. All right. Okay, so first of all, if you hear some noises in the background, that's just my little 3-year-old. He's just playing in the lounge room just over there, and it will probably be a bit of noise. So, but we do what we can. All right, so this is also a bit of a Q&A. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to pop them in the chat. Just the rules with the chat today is no self-promotion. This is a Q&A session and a meal planning session, so this is not necessarily a networking session, but I'll be happy to hear any questions that you have about meal planning and your food and what you're eating. So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing I do when I start meal planning is I will put in one of these. So I'll go and actually do like an inventory in my fridge, my freezer, and my pantry, just to see what I have and what I can use, and that way I don't buy stuff that I already have plenty of. So what I have at the moment, let's read it out. I've got 5 lots of mince. So I've got those frozen in portions. So I bought this huge big, I think it was like a 4 kilo lot, which is about £8, at Costco the other day, and put them into like £1 or half a kilo packs and put them in the freezer. So I got about 5 or 6 of those left. I also have some, when I was at Costco as well, I also bought this big sort of Scotch fillet roast, and I cut that into pieces and froze as well. So I've got 6 left of those, of the fillets of those. I have 6 packs of chicken wings. I have some beef short ribs. I have 2 bowl roasts that we can do. I have 4 chicken breasts. I have a pack of chicken thighs, possibly 2, I think. I wasn't quite sure what one of those packs were, because when they're frozen, it's a bit hard to tell the difference between, say, like a chicken wing or a chicken thigh. I also have a small pork belly. I have a ginormous pork leg roast, and I also have some pork mince. So that's what we've got to work with. So we're going to try and meal plan around that. So that is for our dinners. In my rest of my freezer, I've got frozen berries. So I've got 2 kilos of mixed frozen berries. I've got my favorite antioxidant blend, which is also a Costco thing. And I have some frozen organic blueberries, and I've also got some frozen mango. And I also have, for those that have seen my chicken broth recipe, I still have some left in the freezer from that recipe I did. I think I got about 3 packs of those, so that will give me some chicken soup or some bases for some sauces and stuff for the next sort of 10-11 days. I only need to meal plan up until, not this weekend, but the next one. So I'm going to do that. Hello, I got someone on, so I'll try to keep a track of the chat as well. How are you? So World, hello. How are you today? It's good to see you. Okay, so I'll keep going. In my fridge, I do have some eggs, but I do need some more of that because I go through eggs quite fast. I have some butter. I have a little bit of sweet potato left. I've got some broccolini, some baby carrots, some celery that's sort of starting to look a little bit sad, so I reckon I'm going to whip that up for a lunch together with some of that chicken broth and make it into a soup. So I'll probably do get some chicken wings in there and some of the celery, and I'll make it into like a broth style soup for one of my lunches, I reckon. I also have some cream. I've got a tiniest little bit of lettuce and spinach left, so I definitely need to go to the fruit and veggie store and stock up again because we get running low on all of that. So in my pantry, I usually have a fairly decent stock of nuts, various nuts. So I've got some almonds, I've got walnuts, pecans, and I also got macadamia nuts at the moment. I've got, so from the rest of my family, I have plain flour and baker's flour, so I can bake them some stuff. I don't use that for myself because I obviously do low carb living, but I don't force my family to eat exactly the same way as I do, although they do it on occasion as well. I have some bicarb, I have some oats, chia seeds, sunflower seed, pepitas. I also have canned tomatoes, tomato paste, and I also got some chickpeas, and I've got tons of other stuff as well, but these are sort of the main things that I can use to make some good dishes with, and then the rest is your herbs and spices and everything as well. Hi, my way Helen, how are you? I'm really good, thank you. Thank you so much for stopping in. Just letting you know, so this is a Q&A session, so you're more than welcome to ask questions about how I do things. If you have meals that you'd like to some help converting into slightly lower carb alternatives, anything like that, I'm more than happy to help out with that. So shoot it in the comments and I'll try to keep a close eye on it. There is a slight delay, so if I don't get to it straight away, just hang in there and I'll get there soon. Alright, so that's my list here that I've got with sort of my main ingredients, and as I said, I have tons of other stuff, things like, I got dates, I got coconuts, lots of bits and pieces, but these are sort of the main things that I can make some dinners and stuff with. So, I thought we could start with, because I got so much mince, I thought I could start with that. So, I thought my family is quite traditional in their sort of their taste and what they prefer for their dinners. My husband grew up in a very sort of traditionally meat and 3 vegetables family, and I'm slowly sort of trying to chip away and trying to get a little bit more variety and a bit more healthy foods in there as well. And they're getting quite good actually. My kids, the 2 oldest ones, they eat what they feel like within reason. I don't usually have too much junk food in the house, so they usually just eat what we're having, or if they absolutely refusing, then they'll go and make themselves something. My little one, he eats pretty much anything, which is fantastic. He literally just nearly finished off my lunch before, so I had to eat very fast just before I got on the live stream so I wouldn't finish my entire plate of food. But he's had some food now, so he's happily playing. So hopefully he won't make too much noise for us, but that's alright. It's real life. Okay, so we'll start with some mince, I reckon. So one of the most traditional thing you can possibly eat is a good spaghetti bolognese. So I have my mince for that. I mentioned I have some canned tomatoes. I usually buy that at Costco because I can get, I think it's a tray of about 12, I think, of like the diced, I think it's diced, actually no, I think I got whole tomatoes. Reason I tend to get more whole tomatoes rather than the diced tomatoes child is playing, is that they are much more ripe. The diced tomatoes, you can often see on the colour of them, they're actually quite blonde when it comes to sort of the flavour, the colour, the brightness of the colour, while if you buy the whole tomatoes, whole peeled tomatoes, they're much brighter red, so they pick them when they're more ripe. So I'm going to use that to make my bolognese sauce. I don't buy the pre-made jars from the grocery stores because they often add way more salt than what we need. They add sugar to it because they often take out a lot of the flavours from the fats, and I don't want that in my food, so I make it from scratch myself. So I'm going to use one mince. I'm going to have to add some onions to my shopping list because I don't have any of that left. And as I mentioned earlier, I need to do a pretty decent fruit and veggie run. We have a really awesome store close by, and they got really, really good prices. So usually what I do when I write my list is that I'll check all the catalogues for all the shops around that I usually go to, check what their fruit and veggie prices are, and then I'll go to my fruit and veggie shop first and check if there's anything that's cheaper anywhere else. But mainly I'll buy my fruit and vegetables from that little store, and it helps out a local business as well. So let's see, we can use for that also to use the canned tomatoes. I'm going to use my some tomato paste. I have plenty of herbs out in my garden as well, so I've got lots of basil, I've got thyme out there, and I've also got lots of spices in my pantry too, so I can use all of that to make a really nice bolognese. And I like to sort of not slow cook it, but I do let it sit there for quite a while. Oh goodness, he's just decided to sit right there and play with his 2-play train. So I am so sorry if that sound is all picking up on my microphone, so you might be a little bit noisy. He was so nice and quiet just before, and just as I started, he decides to come and play right next to us. Alright, so what else could we do with our mince, I reckon? So we've got a few more minces to use up. My kids, they love Mexican food. Seriously, what family doesn't? So I'm thinking maybe we could do, I reckon we could do some burrito bowls. So I'm going to just add that to my list. So when I do burrito bowls, that eliminates the need of getting tortillas or making tortillas, and that's less carbohydrates. Again, gosh, he is literally just sitting there running his train back and forth, and I'm hoping he can go onto the rug for a bit because it's a little bit quieter there. Now, usually with burritos you use rice. I don't eat rice, but my family does, so I'll cook up a little bit of rice for them. And what I'll do for myself is that I might either have it just on top of some lettuce with some other salad vegetables with that as well. I'm going to make I'm going to grab some avocados, I think, and I'm going to make some guacamole for that. Lots of good fats in your avocados, so that's really, really good to add into your diet. I actually try as much as I can to eat at least half an avocado every day. I didn't have any at the moment. I've run out. Had my last one yesterday. So I definitely need to go get myself a nice big bag of avocados. I need to get some tomatoes so we can add some salads. As I said, I'm running really low on fresh produce at the moment. And I'll do, instead of rice, I will do some cauliflower rice as well, just for me as well. So I reckon, so that was meal number 2. So we have our bolognese, and actually, what I forgot to say about my bolognese sauce is that I do normal pasta for my kids, my husband. And I actually brought it because I wanted to show you. I use this one. It's a black bean spaghetti. So it's actually no flour in it. It's literally just ground down black beans and water that's been made into paste and made into pasta. So it's got very, very little carbs in it, and I'm sure you could probably find something similar. So for those that don't know, I'm in Australia. My name kind of says it all. Holistic living down under, but for those that don't know, it's summer here. We're midsummer, and which is why I often do a lot of salad veg at the moment as well. But this is what I found. So I found that in the shops in Australia. I think it's a fairly common thing now. The world is starting to get a bit better with alternative foods. let's see what it's got. So carbohydrates, it's actually really, really low in carbohydrates. So per 100 grams, it's only about 3.4 carbohydrates. For keto and low carbs, you tend to try and look for foods that are less than 5 grams per 100. So less than 5% carbs is the easier way to say it, because I'm not familiar enough with ounces and pounds to be able to quickly convert in my head. I need a proper conversion rate. But let's see, energy-wise, per serve, these only got about 59 calories per serve, so that's actually not bad at all. So I tend to use these for my pasta. Alright, now keep telling me that the video resolution isn't the best, so I apologise for that. I hope you guys can still see what I do. Alright, let's keep moving. So we've done the burrito bowl, so we have our bolognese with my low carb alternative to pasta, and we have our burrito bowls with as well a low carb alternative to our rice and everything. So we got 2 down. Alright, so let's see. I mentioned I have some roasts, so we're going to do, I reckon we'll do one of the roasts. We have, my husband loves to do his barbecues, and he's got a barbecue, it's almost like a little pod, and he can do like smoking in there, so he can smoke his meat and sort of cook it at the same time. So I'm thinking we might do that, and I'll buy some pumpkin, I might roast up some sweet potato for that, and possibly also some zucchinis for that as well. I think that will be a good sort of fairly low carb. If you're really, really low carb, then sweet potatoes aren't the best. Pumpkins are okay. Zucchinis are fantastic. And again, with the pasta, if you can't find things like the black bean spaghettis or pastas or anything like that, just using like a vegetable peeler or a what else, little contraptions, like little spiralizers with your zucchinis, they work out really well as well. So you can use zucchini instead of pasta with your bolognese as well. Let's see, so we're going to do our roast beef, and I'll have some vegetables, some roast vegetables on the side for that. Okay, I have those Scotch fillets that I've got in the freezer, so I'm thinking we'll do a barbecue with those. 2 of my kids don't tend to eat a whole lot of steak. They're not big meat eaters unless it's mince, like ground beef or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of this chicken breast. I'm going to marinate those. They like the satay style, so I'm going to marinate those in a bit of natural peanut butter and some curry powder, because they really like that one, and we can put that on the barbecue as well. And I'll do some salads on the side for that, maybe just like some sort of garden salad as well. Alright, let's see. So now, Helen, now I live on my own. I'm not eating good. I'm glad I'm not the only one who's not overly good with the ounces and the pounds. So that's good. So at least, yeah, I'll keep to the metric system as much as I can, and where I sort of know what the pounds and stuff are, I'll try to convert. Same with like the fluid ounces and stuff. It just makes no sense in my head. Give me the metric system any day. So yeah, so really, so Helen, what you could do is try to sort of plan ahead. If you could even do could you do like some cook-ups on the weekend, maybe, and sort of put finished meals sort of in the fridge, so that you have them sort of readily available. Or even just cook up things like maybe like quinoa, some chickpeas, and those sort of things, and have in containers so that you can quickly put together a dish, just grabbing a little bit of each and putting together. If you have, I actually suggest if you go later on, when you have a chance, go back into my channel and have a look at my things like my Buddha bowl recipe and the recipe that does the chicken broth, because I also make that into a soup. So making like a big, if you have a slow cooker, making a big portion of chicken broth that you can strain off and then have readily available in your fridge. Have some in your fridge and some in your freezer. That is a really, really good way to just get a healthy meal in and just quickly just cook it up for a little bit, just with some Asian greens. I love putting Asian greens in my broth. So yeah, see if we can have a look through some of the things that I have later on in my channel and stuff, and see if there's some things that you can find there that you can make in advance. And yeah, that might just make it slightly easier, especially when you're cooking for one. It's sort of hard because most recipes are for larger portions, so if you can then use those recipes to meal plan and have for lunches and stuff during the week, that's going to help a lot as well. Alright, let's see. So I mentioned I got some chicken breasts. So what I'm thinking I might do with those is I'll do some paleo chicken schnitzels. So they're paleo and they're also low carb. So what I do with those is that I actually use almond meal, or you guys call it, I know somewhere in the US they call it almond flour. That's a brilliant way to do it. If you like a little bit of crunch in your schnitzel or your crumb, you could use you could actually use whole almonds, and you could use a food processor, and you can sort of pulse it until it's like a bit of a crumb texture, but still have some slightly bigger pieces in it, so it's not completely fine. And then I add things like garlic powder to it. I'll add herbs and spices. I really like Italian spices on my crumb. And you know what? This is actually a really good way to do make your own things like chicken nuggets. If you've got kids that love chicken nuggets and those sort of things, there are so many recipes out there that would be brilliant to make yourself, and then use the almond crumb. So you do what you usually would do when you're crumbing something. You have some eggs in a bowl. I'll put my chicken in there. Make sure that's all coated, and then I'll put it into my almond mix and make sure it's nicely coated in my almonds. And I will start it off on my stovetop, just brown it on each side, and then I'll quickly put it in to the oven. So I've got a pretty decent size pan that I can use for that. And actually, I tend to use mainly cast iron stuff because it can go into the oven. So I can take it straight from there, preheat my oven, and put it in and just finish it off. That way it doesn't actually get burnt on the outside as well by the time it's cooked on the inside. So that's a good way to do it as well. So I reckon, I'll do the chicken schnitzels with the almond crumb. I reckon, since I'm going to use the oven anyway, I might do some sweet potato wedges with that. Because that's always nice. People like to have, when they have the schnitzels, they like to have some chips or something. So I'll just get sweet potatoes and I cut it into wedges and I'll pop it in the oven. So obviously they're not going to get crunchy like you would for deep fried stuff, but it's still going to help. It's still going to help keep your carbs down and keep the sort of the nasties out of your diet as well. And they taste nice. They're full of flavour as well. Bit of salt and pepper on top, and then a bit of oil. I like to use ghee on mine because they have a really high smoke point, so it doesn't change the chemical structure of the oil when it gets heated. So that's why I tend to use that more than a lot of other ones. Let's see, and I'll probably put with the chicken schnitzel, I reckon I'll do some. I'll do a salad as well, I reckon, on the side with that. So usually sort of when I do my salads, I just mix and match what I have. I try to buy as seasonal as possible. So if you're in the northern hemisphere at this time, chances are you've got winter. because I'm in Australia, I've got summer, so we're having all the salad vegetables and stuff are really good value at the moment. I do have a bit of a veggie patch at the moment, but it's not. I've got a lot of flowers, but I don't have a lot of produce on them at the moment. So my herb garden is going great, but my veggies not so much. So once I get a chance to actually have time to go out there and really nurture it a bit more, hopefully we can get some more veggies. My problem is that my 3-year-old, he loves things like tomatoes and stuff, so he often goes and steals them before they're even ripe. So I keep finding these green tomatoes all over the place. So, so we do what we can, and yeah, if we have to buy some, we'll have to buy some. So I'm probably going to need to buy some more lettuce and some more spinach. I get that from my local grocery store rather than the fruit and veggie store, mainly because my grocery store has got a really decent organic range. So I grab them from there. I do like my leafy greens to be organic, especially things like lettuce and spinach and those things. They soak up anything that you spray on them, so the more pesticides and artificial fertilizers and stuff that's been used, we're going to end up eating that, and I don't like that idea. So for those, I tend to get organic ones. Same with, I do like trying to get organic apples and stuff as well when I can. So if you you can even Google up the dirty dozen, and those are things that you're better off getting organic because it's stuff that really soaks up all those things the chemicals that we don't. Yeah, he's trying to help. He's just, being helpful and doing some gardening for me. He is really cute. He's a sweetheart. I love him dearly. So yes, but yeah, I don't have many strawberries. I don't have many tomatoes. They keep getting picked before they're ripe. Alrighty, so yeah, we'll do the salads. So I'm gonna need to get some more tomatoes. I'm gonna need to get some cucumber, I reckon. Maybe, and I love putting red onions in my salads. Onions itself, I think, isn't technically 100% sort of keto, but because you only put a tiniest little amount in there, so by the time you add it all up, you're still way within sort of reasonable limits. Alrighty, what else have I got? I've got some. Okay, so I've got a packet of chicken thighs. One, or possibly I mentioned earlier that I might have two. There's just one pack that I'm not 100% if it's an old packet of chicken, like an older packet of chicken wings, or if it's actually thighs. But if it's the chicken thighs, then that's great. What I might do is I reckon I might make a paleo style butter chicken. I have to do that when my husband's not home because he's not, while he likes them, they really upset his stomach, poor thing. So anything that's got a lot of spice, it doesn't have to be hot within, poor thing. It's just that combination of spices just seems to set him off. So we're going to do that. I'll find a day where he's working late, and I will try to make some butter chicken because I love butter chicken. And if I make it with coconut milk or coconut cream rather than dairy, then we got it dairy free, so it's paleo friendly, and we also get the good fats in there from the coconut as well. As well as my 3-year-old, he's actually allergic to dairy, so he can't have any of it anyway if it's got any cream or milk or anything in it. So I try to make it friendly for him as well. Let's see, so I'll do the butter chicken. The kids can have that with some rice, I reckon. And I will make, I'm going to have to go buy a decent sized cauliflower, and I will have it with some cauliflower rice for me. No, I'm not huge on like the spicy stuff either, Helen. It's just, yeah, I can do a Western style medium, maybe, if I have some sour cream or some coconut yogurt or something like that on the side. That can just help sort of dull it down a little bit. But I reckon if I went to any like India or anything like that and said medium, I reckon I would pretty much spew out fire. Hello, hi wee Monday. How are you? Happy Tuesday to you too. Although it's actually Wednesday here. I'm in Australia, so it's Wednesday for me. So I'm halfway through. We're on the hump day here, so we're a bit ahead of most other people. And yeah, feel free to chat to each other in the chat as well. Go for it. Alright, so I'm going to do with the butter chicken, yeah, I'll make it a mild one because I have my kids eating it as well. And yes, I'll do rice for the kids, and I'm going to have cauliflower rice. So that way it's going to be keto friendly, low carb friendly, and it's going to be paleo friendly as well. And again, I do everything from scratch. So I have a decent herb and spice drawer in my kitchen, and most of the time I have what I need to make it all from scratch as well, which is good. So, but I think I might start have another look through it to see if I need to stock up on some more things when I make my full sort of shopping list as well. Alrighty, so what else have we got on my? So for those that, by the way, for those that weren't here at the very start, the first thing I did in this live was I have made like a little pantry, fridge and freezer inventory. So this is what I'm sort of working off now. So I've got my freezer stuff here. I've got what I've got in my fridge here, and just on the back I put down some of the pantry staples. Like I've got tons more than what is on this list, but this is like the main things that I use fairly regularly to make stuff. So Aussie in the UK, yes, it would be cold. Where in the UK are you from? I've been, I'm originally from Norway actually, so I'm actually not from Australia. So I've been to the UK a few times. I used to love going to London. I have to say that's one of the things that I do miss when I'm here in Australia, is that opportunity to travel to so many countries within such a close proximity to each other. And even just going on, school trips to places like France and Czech Republic and those sort of places. That was an amazing opportunity that we had being in Europe. So yeah, but it's completely different here. I've been in Australia for 16 years now, so I'm getting used to it. Although only thing I still can't get used to is hot Christmases. It just does not make sense to me because all the Christmas songs is about white Christmases. So, but what can you do? You do the best you can with what you have. And next Christmas, I'm going to be home in the snow again, so I can't wait for that. All right, let's keep looking at our meat section here. So I have, I've got pork mince. All right, what can I make with pork mince, I wonder? So many things. Ooh, I got this awesome, I got some really good recipe books that I use. For those that watched some of my cooking videos, you'll see that I've got a Thermomix in my kitchen that I use to do a lot of my mixing. Advantage of that one is that it actually cooks as well. So I can, see we've got a steaming attachment that you can put up the top, and it's got a basket I can even put inside the bowl. So I can steam in quite a few layers. Probably about three layers I can steam in, plus I can cook a sauce down the bottom at the same time. I've got a recipe for chorizo, homemade chorizo meatballs. I think if I then steam some sweet potatoes inside the bowl, then I can make a mash out of that. And I'll have some salad on the side, because I always put salad on the side. Or some other types of vegetables I try. I do try to eat mainly above ground vegetables when I do low carb. Anything that's below ground often have high starch content, so yeah, that will convert into sugars in your body, which doesn't do us any favors. So what I'm going to do is I'll do a sweet potato mash. That way the whole family's got something. I'll just have the tiniest little amount of that, and I'll make a decent sized salad to have on the side. with that, and I'll probably, I think if I remember right, that particular recipe has got, you actually make the sauce down the bottom as you go as well. So I'm going to make those. I'll do those chorizo meatballs, I reckon, because they are really nice and the kids love them. So, you're born in London? Oh, I love London. It's one of my favourite cities in the whole wide world, and I've been there lots of times. But it's been too long since I've been there now. I used to go over there. I knew a few flat families over there, and I used to go over from the time I was about 18, I reckon, 18 and 19. I reckon I used to travel over there by myself. I used to stay with the families I knew over there and just go and explore London. Go watch the musicals and everything. So absolutely love it, love it, love it, love it. I can't wait to one day be able to go back. You need some warmth. You need some warmth for your bones. Yes, absolutely. I think I'll need a bit of vitamin D and all of that as well, and warm ourselves up. So my little one's outside playing at the moment. It's actually a really nice day out there today. It's not too hot. It's about 26 degrees, which is really pleasant, and it's sunshine. So I've got the window right out there, so I can sort of keep an eye on him as he's playing, and I can hear him the whole time as well. Let's see. All right, what else can we make? I have some chicken wings in some little portion packs that I got from Costco. So I reckon I could whip up a marinade and do some marinated chicken wings in a smoker, I reckon. Like the smoker barbecue that we've got. Make some nice sort of crispy chicken wings. Again, I'll do some salads for that. I reckon I've got a great sort of Thermomix recipe for a broccoli salad. If you haven't had raw broccoli before, this broccoli salad is really, really nice because it's chopped down. It's like a coleslaw consistency almost, and it's really fine, and it's mixed in with a lot of other vegetables as well. And you use a bit of yogurt, Greek yogurt, to make the dressing, and it's just really fresh, nice fresh salad to have, and just something different. Just something different to your old, garden salads all the time as well. I'm thinking I could possibly also make a coleslaw to go with that, because it takes, quite literally, it takes me less than 10 seconds to make those salads in my Thermomix. It is so fast. I actually do have a newer model than the one I've been using in my videos, but it needs some repairs because my kids decided to have a bit of fun with it. I just need to send it off and get it fixed and get it back to me, so I have the more of a digital version. When I get that back, I'll show you all how you can do like the guided cooking and stuff on it, which is really cool. But yeah, it only takes less than 10 seconds by the time I do all my salads, which is really cool. Makes it super quick. So I'll do the chicken wings. I reckon, with salads and on the side, and that should be nice, and everyone can just dig in and use their fingers. Now, I know on Sunday I don't necessarily need to do too much of a dinner because it was my husband's birthday on Monday. His brother's birthday is tomorrow for our time, so Thursday, and my birthday is next Monday. So we're going to go on Sunday. We're going to go to my in-laws' house, and we're going to do like a big celebration for everyone. So I don't think that'll probably be like a massive. I have a feeling it's going to be like a big barbecue lunch. That's usually what we have, which is awesome because that means I don't have to necessarily cook a whole lot for dinners for Sunday. So I reckon we'll probably have one day even where I might just do some grilled cheese sandwiches or something for the kids, or just something really easy that I don't necessarily need to cook. Scrambled eggs are good. Omelettes are really good too, and especially my little one loves a good omelette. So when I need to get him to bed quickly and he's all tired and stuff, I'll quickly whip up a little omelette for him, and he loves that, which is great. I'm just glad I've got a child who prefers healthy foods over junk food, really, which is good. He likes the crunchy stuff and stuff like that. So I might do that, just have one day. So that leaves me one less day to plan for, which is great. So how much have we got now? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, I've got 8 meals planned because I only need to go to next weekend because it's already sort of slightly in towards the week. Because usually I shop every Saturday or Sunday. Not every Saturday or Sunday. Every second Saturday or Sunday, I usually do. Fortnightly big shops. But we weren't able to do that this week, so I've sort of just been stretching on with what we had for the last few days. But that also means I don't have to plan too many dishes. Now I mentioned I've got a pork belly. I might just do something with that. I reckon I got another nice pork belly that's you steam it first, and then you pop it into the oven to get really nice crackling on top, which is so good. So I might do that. I'll make some applesauce with that, I think, and I might steam some vegetables and things to go with that. Possibly roast some pumpkin, I reckon. That would be nice, I think to go with that. And maybe some sweet potato as well, I'll see. See if I'm not completely sweet potatoed out by that time. And again, sweet potato is not something I do eat a huge amount of. It's more so for my family. So I would do things like pumpkin. I would add in my green leafy vegetables on the side as well. So instead of doing the below grounds, but you could obviously, like if you're not doing low carb food, you could put your potatoes in and things like that. And my little one's out there playing, having fun. Alright, so how much more have I got to make? I need to get more eggs anyway, so I think I might go and make do a carbonara. If I get some bacon, got a little bit of bacon, I'll get some Parmesan cheese. Now my little one can't have the Parmesan cheese, so what I'll do is I'll make the egg and bacon mix with onions and stuff first and stir that through the pasta, and I will have that with my black bean pasta rather than with traditional pasta, because yes, I don't use like wheat, I don't have gluten, because well, they're too high in carbs and they just make me feel horrible, so I just leave it. So I'll have that with my black bean pasta, and then I'll just add in like the Parmesan cheese after I've taken off my younger son's portion. So I'll just stir that through. Oh, I think let's see, so we're on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I'll shop on, yep, beautiful, that's 10, how much I've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, woohoo! We've got 10 dinners planned. That is awesome. That didn't go as long as I thought. Alright, some lunches. What do I do for my lunches? Alright, what do I want? Well, I've got those chicken broths. So I've got at least 3 of those. So that will give me quite a few chicken soups for lunch, so I can have, if I get some, I reckon I might get some Asian greens to go with that, and I will, I can also put in some chicken wings. I do like to put in some extra chicken wings and stuff in that, it's just because you get all of the good collagen and stuff in there, because that's why I like to use chicken wings, by the way, rather than other things, because the more joints that you have, the more collagen is going to come out, and the more gelatinous your broth is going to be when you cool it down, which is important because that's where all the good stuff is. So I'm going to do that. I'll get my Asian greens to go in, like the bok choy and those sort of things. I went and had a look, so I get I try to get like the catalogs like Aldi up, as well as so we got a chain of shops called Foodland here in South Australia, They're all independently owned, which is really good. I don't like shopping too much at the big, huge chains because, well, I don't feel like it contributes to someone, some really rich dude sitting up the top getting all the profits. So I like to support the locally owned stores as much as I can, and the Foodlands are really good because they're all independently owned shops. So, and our local one is actually really, really good. It's got a huge selection of really good food. So I'm going to have a look through the catalogue there, and I'm going to have a look through also Aldi, because if you are on a budget, Aldi is awesome. And I did see that they have salmon on their Super Savers at the moment, so I might go and get some of those. So they have like the 4-pack of salmon fillets. So that will give me, so if I get the 4-pack of salmon, that will give me 4 lunches, and I usually have that with a bit of egg and some salad on the side, like avocado, spinach, lettuce, tomatoes, and cucumber tends to be sort of my go-to vegetables. I reckon I will do, I've got a, let's see what I've got in the pantry. Oh, I've got chia seeds. I've got a big bag of chia seeds. So I might do some chia puddings as well, because I'll make those up in advance. So I'll do like in a big bowl. I'll make a chia pudding, and I will like take out what I need and mix it with like some fresh berries and some coconut and stuff like that when I want to eat it. So that's a good one that I can have for maybe some snacks and stuff. I reckon so. Bicarb, and I've also got my freezer. I've got my frozen berries as well. So I reckon I might do some smoothies, some low carb smoothies that I do. I do those with coconut milk usually, because well, you add lots of good fats to that. I can add some avocados. I can add a bit of avocado to that as well, and spinach to some green smoothies. I haven't actually filmed a green smoothie. I might do that this week if I get a chance. I've done my berry one, but I haven't done a green one, so I might do that. Let's see, and I've got a can of organic chickpeas as well, so I might do that. And I can roast those up in the oven with some spices. What else have I got? I can go in there. I can do some pumpkin as well, and I can do some more of my Buddha bowls, because they're good too. If I cook up the chickpeas in advance, I can just add them on the day. And usually what I do is I usually don't put a whole lot of things like quinoa in there, because I do have a bit more carbs, but sometimes I really just feel like it, so I'll have a tiny little bit. It's like a quarter cup or something like that, so it's not a huge amount. As quinoa, while it's not a full-on grain, it's sort of like it's like a pseudo grain, so they do still have some carbs in them. So quinoa for me is sometimes food, but they are high in protein as well. So if you're not doing really strict low carbs, you should be able to have a little bit here and there. What else have I got? Ooh, I reckon I know that at Aldi, since I have to go there anyway, I know that at Aldi it's a mix of like a beef and a pork mince. Actually, I think it's veal and pork, I think. And that mix makes a really nice, those sausage patties that you get for like places like McDonald's and stuff, and you get your like sausage McMuffins and all of those sort of things. I might make those, and I got a really good recipe in one of my books that I've got. It's like a low carb bun. It looks slightly more, I think it looks slightly more like a pancake, but it's a savoury one, and it is made predominantly with almond flour, I think, if I remember right, and I got lots of almond flour, so that's something I can use quite frequently. So I reckon I might do that. I'll do like almost like sausage and egg muffins. So I'll make the sausage patties, I'll do the eggs in the little rings, some smashed avocado, I reckon will be nice on that. And we could do, what else, just even do some, I could even do some homemade mayonnaise or something like that to go on top as well. And I'll put some lettuce and stuff in there as well, just to get my veggies in. But that'll be another good one to do. So I think I'll do that. So I think we're looking good for lunches, for dinners and for lunches at the moment. For those that don't know, I'd also do intermittent fasting. So what that means is I do what's called the 16-8 version of that. So I have an 8-hour eating window, and then I fast for 16 hours. So my eating window starts at midday. So I usually start around about 12, and then I allow myself to eat between 12 and 8 o'clock. Now, it's important that you don't binge in that time though, because then it's kind of, a lost cause. It's not quite what you do with intermittent fasting, but what I'll do is I'll eat between 12 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the afternoon, and I will then fast from 8 o'clock at night until 12 o'clock the next day. So that's 16 hours where I don't eat. So I drink lots. Drink water, I drink cups of herbal teas and stuff, and it works out really well because I do low carb. I actually don't feel hungry because I've now trained my body into using fat as its main fuel. So then what happens is that when I do intermittent fasting, instead of my body burning the fat from my food, it will start burning the fat stores that I have in my body, because now fat is its preferred fuel instead of the carbs. And it's good for your brain too, because the brain is like predominantly made out of fat. So that's another good thing to do. So I reckon, I think we're doing well, but that also means I don't really necessarily need to plan a big amount of breakfasts, other than for what my kids are going to have. And my kids are quite happy to have either things like oatmeals, they'll always have their like granola, pieces of toast. So as I mentioned earlier, I don't force my family into eating the way I do. If they want to, then great. If not, that's their choice. And also, kids do need a whole lot more energy than what adults do anyway, because they run around all day. So yeah, it's a big ask to ask them to do low carb as well. But I do try to have them eat as healthy as I can as well, and make lots of stuff. So let's see the time. I'm trying to think how long we've been on. I'm not sure. How many have we got on at the moment? One person. That's alright. So if you have any questions or anything, feel free to pop it in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. So let's see. I'll hang around here for a while longer. Let's see. And I'm getting some messages in. Let's see. So I'll stick around here for a while, and I'll see if we've got anyone else that logs on. See if I can run it from my phone as well. going to do, I'm going to share this link onto my Facebook, and so I'll copy my link. We'll see if we can, if there's any other ones that want to come in. Let's see. So if I go into my page, I'll post a link. My little boy is out in a lounge room now and he is playing with his train. Let's see. See, I'm just going to go and make sure that my little one is fine. Okay, I am back. I'm back. So I just had to deal with some just had to deal with the nappy change. So we are back again. Okay, let's see. All right, who is on? Feel free to introduce yourself in the chat, and I'll chat to you all. I'm just doing now is I'm just sharing the link. Oh, your internet. You have to get some sleep. Yes, completely understand. That is completely fine. You have you go and rest. It would be pretty late for you. Goodness me. What is the time? What is the time over there now? It would be very late. Let's see. Oh, thank you for waiting for me to come back. That's very nice of you. Oh, and my little 3-year-old decided to pop back again. Hang on a sec. Alrighty, my little one's just decided to play underneath the table. So please excuse all the little noises. Oh my gosh. 2:45 in the morning. Yes, you definitely need a good sleep. Have a good night, and I'll hope to catch you soon. All right, let's see. I'm gonna just, while I do that, I will post the link on my Facebook page. So we'll see if we can get some more people on. No, Mommy don't want a hat on. You can have a hat on. Let's see. So we'll just have to deal with all the little. Oh, he's a cheeky one. I tell you what. Let's see if we can get this link up and running onto my page. Let's see. Where have I got it all? That one. There. Share. There we go. Yeah. Hey. Let's see. Let me just see if I can get him to play somewhere else. And he did it all by himself anyway. Let's see. Okay, come on. Let's see. Here we go. Well, we've got that one up and running. I'm just going to see if I can change the picture of that, because I had a picture popped up as well, but let's see. If I can change it, I don't know. I think I have to do it prior. That's alright. Let's see if we get some people on. joining in as well. We are doing just a normal live stream with a meal planning. So what I've been doing today is planning what we're going to have for the next 10 or so days for dinners up until sort of next week, because that's when my shopping days. So usually I tend to meal plan for 2 weeks at the time, and then I do like a big shop, and then I just stock up a little bit along the way just on fresh produce like your fruit and vegetables and stuff as we run out of that. But yeah, mainly I do try to do bigger shops just to see if I can get some good deals and save some money as well. So we've been going through my fridge, freezer and pantry sort of main inventory. Obviously I got way more than less than half a page in my pantry, but that's the sort of things that I use the most. So that's what we're gonna worry about, and that's what I tend to use to sort of plan my meals and stuff as well. So I was lucky this time. Oh, pardon me, I'm yawning. I was lucky this time in that I had quite a fair bit in my freezer and stuff that I was able to utilise to make our dinners. So it wasn't a huge amount of stuff that I think I need to buy, at least not meat-wise. Most of the stuff I need to buy is just fresh produce from the fruit and veggie store, and yeah, that's sort of what we're gonna focus on. So I'm just going to sort of stick around here just to see if there's someone else that decides to hop on, because my way Helen had to go off to bed because she's in the UK and it's in the middle of the night there, which is fair enough. So let's see if we get any people coming in. Let's see. If you're when you're in here, make sure pop your hi Kimmy. Hello. How awesome of you to come. Thank you. How are you? What I'm doing at the moment is just meal planning using my inventory for my fridge and my freezer and my pantry to come up with a meal plan for the next 10 days. So let's see. Oh, did you drop out again, Kimmy, or are you still there? So anyway, so what we've got so far, let's see, what we ended up. Oh, glad to hear it. I'm glad you're doing good. All right, so what we've got so far is I have a spaghetti bolognese put up. So what I'm doing to make this sort of low carb friendly is I use an organic black bean pasta. So it's just made by grinding down black beans and making it black bean flour and then add water. Obviously I don't make that myself because I don't know where to get dried black beans. But I did bring it in just to show. So the one I have looks like that. And I'm sure that there's probably lots of shops sort of wherever you are that might have something similar as well. So I like the fact that this one doesn't have a whole lot of nasty ingredients in it. I find if you go for just like the standard gluten-free pastas, the ingredient list is really long, and this one only has black bean flour and water as ingredients. So I'm really happy with that. Oh yes, exactly. There's tons of people live So yeah, this is at the moment it is about 1:30 p.m. here at the moment. So my two older kids are at school, and no, not 100%. I'm what you would call a plant-based omnivore. So I base my food around, like I build it up around the vegetables, and then I might add fish or meat or something, more like a side dish rather than the main component of the meal. Um, so yes, I'm plant-based omnivore, if that's a thing. I sort of take things from bit of different styles, and I sort of combine it to something that works for me. And I also combine that with intermittent fasting and then low carb living as well. So yes, I have a 8-hour eating window, so I eat between midday, so 12 o'clock, to about 8 o'clock in the evening, and then I don't eat for 16 hours after that. So I don't eat anything sort of late at night, and I don't eat anything sort of early in the mornings as well. Just drink lots of water, herbal teas, and stuff like that, and that helps me a lot. And I just find I run better on that sort of lifestyle. Oh, I'm tired. My little one woke me up really early this morning, so I am yawning. Um, so yeah, so what else have we got? So I got the bolognese that I do because my kids eat it, or most of my kids eat it. My oldest is a bit picky when it comes to bolognese. He likes it when it's in a lasagna, but he won't have it on top of pasta. So it's the same recipe. It's just presented differently, and he's 13, so he should know better. All right. So what else have we got that I put down? I have a roast beef with roasted vegetables. Yeah, trying to be plant-based, but it's not working for you. No, I think there are so many nutrients in meat that I feel like I can't leave it completely out. I find a smaller amount of good quality meat is better than, a large amount of bad quality stuff. So I do use probably like a lot of, try to buy in bulk where I can, so I can get better quality things for, oh, I can't stop yawning, what is this? So, so building up, my meals then around the vegetables as the sort of predominant thing on my plate or in my bowl, and then adding like the proteins on top. So like I do like a piece of salmon or some chicken, and also do eggs. I do love eggs, so I do that a lot, because it's both a good protein as well as a good fat. That's really good for us, and it's just absolutely packed full of nutrients as well. They're like the egg yolks. The whole back in the day, also when they was telling us to not eat the egg yolks, I'm thinking, oh no, this is like the most nutrient dense part of the whole egg. So, oh dear. Will you just excuse me for a second, because my little one has stolen a little figurine. There we go. And I'm back again. So, oh, thank you so much, Kimmy. I really, really appreciate it. What is he doing? Goodness me, my little one is doing something, and I'm not sure if he should be doing it. Alright, there we go. I'm back again for a second time. Just had to rescue my poor dog because my 3-year-old has decided that she's suddenly awesome. So I thought I'd better rescue her before she gets loved to death. Oh. And he's trying to open the outside door at the moment. I'm just keeping a little eye on him through the window. And he's all good. There we go. Alright, so what we're doing, we are just making our meal plan. So I might just recap what I actually had in my freezer. So this is what I use to figure out what I'm going to make for dinners for the next sort of 10, 11 days. Thank you so much, Kimmy. I really, really appreciate it. That's really nice of you. So I went in and I did a stock take of my freezer, my fridge, and like the main components in my pantry. So in my freezer I had 6 sort of pound packs of mince, which is ground beef for you guys that's over in the States. I have some Scotch fillets, I have chicken wings, I have some beef short ribs. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them yet because they need to be slow cooked, so that's more of a cooler weather thing. I have 2 bowl of roasts because I bought a huge ginormous one at Costco, so we cut that in 2 and froze and marinated and froze it, so that's ready to go when we want it. I have 4 chicken breasts. I've got 1, possibly 2 packs of chicken thighs. There's one of them that I'm slightly unsure of what's in, if it's wings or if it's thighs. It's just the way it's been frozen in there. I can't quite tell. I've got some pork belly and I've got a pork leg roast, but that is ginormous, so that's going to be when I have some more people to feed. And I also got some pork mince. So what we have decided out of those is I'm doing a pasta bolognese, and I'm going to have black bean pasta instead of regular pasta to make it low carb. I'm going to do roast beef with pumpkin, sweet potato, as well as some veggies on the side. We're going to do a barbecue with Scotch fillets, and because 2 of my kids don't really like steak too much, we are going to make some marinated chicken, like a satay style marinated chicken, to go with that as well. And I'm going to have some nice big salad on the side. I'm going to make a paleo chicken schnitzel, which is really, really nice. I use, to make it low carb and make it paleo friendly, I make an almond crumb rather than breadcrumbs. It is really, really easy to make. You can do it either using like almond meal or almond flour, or if you have like a food processor, you can just pop your almonds in there yourself and you can just pulse them until you get a good consistency. They don't have to be really fine. They can be a little bit rough as well, and then that will give you a bit of texture and a bit of crunch to your chicken schnitzels. And we thought, yes, I love chicken too. There's just so much stuff that you can do with it. And then you can use like the bones and the wings and stuff like that to make broth and things, which is fantastic. Let's see. So I got the chicken schnitzels. I'm going to make sweet potato wedges to go with the chicken schnitzels, and some salad on the side for that. I try not to eat regular potatoes because they're high in starches, which breaks down into sugars in our body, and that will spike our blood sugar levels. And that's what I'm trying to avoid at the moment as I'm trying to lose weight. I've already lost around 30 pounds. So just doing this style of living, so it's definitely working for me, and I'll just keep going at it. So I'm also going to do a paleo style buttered chicken as well, and I'm going to do For my kids, I'm going to make some rice, regular rice, and I'm going to make cauliflower rice for me. So if you haven't heard of cauliflower rice before, it's actually a really good way to sort of pretend that you're eating rice. So you get a cauliflower and you can pulse it in like a food processor. I use my Thermomix that I use in most of my recipes for that, or you could even use like an old-fashioned grater, and you could just sort of grate it down until it looks got a rice consistency to it, and you can steam it quickly, or you could just toss it in a pan, just do a quick saute up, and it's perfect to eat. It's really quick to make. And you can have that instead of rice in a whole lot of recipes, things like, so I'm doing there the butter chicken that I'm going to do. I'm going to have that cauliflower rice on the side. For that, I've even heard of people that made sushi out of it and put it in sushis. So we've had some more people pop by. If you want, pop your name down in the chat. I'd love to see who's here. This is also a Q&A session about low carb, healthy fats. So if you have any questions for me, please feel free to ask them in the chat and I will try my best to answer. If you have any issues with meal planning and need some inspiration, feel free to try to ask as well, and I'll try my best to give you some inspiration there too. So yeah, let's keep going. So what have we got? So I've gotten down to our butter chicken. I'm also going to make, because I've got a lot of mince, I'm going to make some burrito bowls. I'll do it with, my kids can have it with rice. I'll make a little bit of rice for the kids, and then I will have it with just on top of some lettuce and spinach, and I'll make a guacamole, and I'm thinking I'll probably make a some sort of salsa as well to go with that, and just some other sort of salad greens to go with it. For those that don't know, I'm based in Australia, so at the moment I've got, it's summer here. I like to buy things that are in season. So for us here at the moment, it's a lot of salad veg. So you've got your like your lettuces, your tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchinis, all of those sort of things are really cheap at the moment. So I try to base my food a lot around that. And my 3-year-old is just playing in the background, so you'll probably hear him a little bit. He's playing with a dinosaur, so he has to be a little bit loud apparently. That's okay. It's real life. Okay, so with the burrito bowls, yes, I'll do the burrito bowls with avocados, like for guacamole, and I'm going to do the salsa to go with it. I reckon I'm probably going to have to add some sour cream to my list of things to buy. Then I reckon I've got some pork mince that I want to do something with. So I've decided I'm going to make some homemade chorizo meatballs for that, because I've got a really good recipe for it. It's not my recipe, so it's not one I can film, unfortunately, but it is really good, and I will, when I do, I might even be able to get, it's from a site called Skinny Mixes. And it has to do with that Thermomix that I've got. Oh dear, my little one is sad. I'm just going to check what he is. Oh, no, it seems like he's okay. Mood swings. What do you know, being 3-year-old is hard work. So yes, I'm going to do the chorizo meatballs. I'm going to make a sweet potato mash to go with that. And I'm also going to do some salad greens on the side. Then I have quite a lot of chicken wings. So I decided I'm going to marinate some of those, and we're going to have them in our barbecue. My husband got one of those pods. That's the best way I can explain it. It almost looks like a big red egg. And you can do smoking in there. So it makes it really, really full of flavour. So we do it as like a barbecue smokies. So we put you can actually fully attach the lid onto it, and it makes things taste really nice. So I reckon we can put our chicken wings in there. I'm thinking of making a broccoli salad to go with that. If you've never had raw broccoli before, this is a good way to start. Your green leafy vegetables are so good for low carb living as well. There's they're full of nutrients. They are really, really good for us. So they're a good one to try and add in as much as you can. So I do a broccoli salad where I have really fine. I actually do it in my Thermomix. You could possibly even do it in a food processor, I reckon. And it's got broccoli. It's got carrots. It's got some apples. It's almost got like a coleslaw consistency, and you make it with some natural yogurt in there for a dressing, and it's actually really nice. And I might even make up like a coleslaw or something on the side because the kids and my husband loves that as well. Now I've got a pork belly in my freezer, so I'm thinking that I'm gonna do like a steamed pork belly that I just finish off in the oven to get a good sort of crust, like a nice crackling on top. And I'll do some homemade applesauce, some roast vegetables, so I'll do some sweet potatoes, some pumpkin, and I'm thinking getting lots of zucchinis as well. Yes, Kimmy, how you've got a little one too, I think I remember. Yeah, you said how old is yours? So mine, for those who don't know, I've got 3 boys. Oldest one is 13 and he's in high school. Then I've got high school here. So he's middle school, but here middle school is incorporated into high school. So we have a primary school and we have a high school. That's what we have. So he's in high school now, and I have a 9-year-old who is in grade 4, and I've got a little 3-year-old as well. So he's just home with me, so that's why you'll hear him in the background. Let's see. So I'll do the pork belly with applesauce and roast vegetables, and I decided because one of the days on this Sunday we will be going to my in-laws for most likely what's going to be a bigger lunch. Oh, you don't have, who was it? You have some little ones too? Yes, you don't have any kids. That's right, actually I should have remembered that. It's Lena who's got the kids. I've got all the kids. So I keep seeing your name popping up and everywhere. So trying to remember who's who and who's got what kids. There we go. Oh, it's good. It's similar in Jamaica. I'd say it would probably be because we got you'd have to answer that because Jamaica, was that part of like the British colonies, same as Australia was? Because that would probably be why, if that's the same. Because we've got the British sort of influence here, like with a primary and a secondary school. Let's see. All right. So what I'm going to do on that Sunday, I reckon, is just get my kids to have just something easy, because we're going to end up having a massive barbecue lunch on that Sunday, just celebrating everyone's birthdays, because it was my husband's birthday 2 days ago. His brother's birthday is tomorrow, and my birthday is on Monday. So we're doing like a big celebration on Sunday. Oh, I'm seeing the views are going up a little bit. If you're new here, please pop in a comment in the chat so I know that you're here and I can say hello to you. I hope whoever's on here are doing well. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. This is just a live meal plan with me, with some questions and answers about low carb, healthy fat living. If there's any other questions that you have about sort of health related food or anything like that, I will try my best to answer them. Yes, that's exactly what we have as well, Kimmy. So yeah, we have a Governor General that represents the Queen. Absolutely. So yeah, you still, yeah, because that's right. I should remember that, because you guys are always like in the Commonwealth Games as well, same as Australia. So yeah, that is good to know. So we got the same kind of stuff. So you'll probably hear my little 3-year-old in the background. He's a little bit frustrated at the moment. So I think he's Duplo train isn't cooperating, but we'll see what happens. If I have to run off a little bit, I'll just turn off the mic and you guys can just chat amongst yourself. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Hey, Bridget! Oh, it's so nice to see you. Bridget is one of my friends. She's amazing and she has lost so much weight. She's looking absolute bomb at the moment. And I'm so incredibly proud of you, girl. You are awesome. And she's really good at answering stuff as well. So if I have to run off, and you can put questions in the chat, and I'm sure Bridget can help answer things as well. Let's see. I want Kimmy. I might say him. I can add you in as a moderator, I reckon. Okay, Kimmy. So just in case I have to run, because you know how things are on here, I'll just add you down as a moderator. All right. So what we've done is we got a meal plan. So this is what I ended up with for my lunches. Because I've got all of the chicken broth that I made in one of my videos, I still got quite a lot of that in my freezer. Yes, Bridget, you can. Once you have... Oh. My little one came in with a can of baked beans. You know what? Oh dear. Give me a second and I will just sort him out. Okay, I'm back again. I just had to make the little one a sandwich and let's see. So yes, Bridget, we can absolutely go live, which is really, really awesome. I'm not sure if there's a limit as to how many subscribers you have to go live. I know to go live from your phone, however, I think you need 200 subscribers, but I'm just using my computer as well. Now, why is he... he is not happy right now, so we'll see how long I can go for. We've been going for quite a while already. Is anyone able to see... Oh, hang on, I can check here how long. Oh, I've been going for actually over an hour and a half. That is really cool. So we're heading towards my longest live so far, and this is actually really good for getting view hours and stuff as well, because you need a certain amount of view hours on YouTube. So this is a great way of doing that, and it's also a great way to be able to interact with my views and stuff as well, and gives you guys a chance to ask me some questions where you want to. What are you up to today, Bridget? Let's see. 1,000. What's that, Kimmy? Is that for phones to go live on the phone? Is that what you? It's 1,000. Because I'm not sure. Because I've got 300 and a bit. I haven't actually tried to go live on my phone. So, but I'm just, as I said, I'm just using my computer. And because my computer doesn't have the best microphone, I've got my... Yeah, I know, 4,000 watch hours is like craziness. I think I broke it down. Let's see, I'll find out. I'll get my little calculator out. And let's see, so we have 4,000 watch hours. And so what YouTube does is that it calculates it on a 365-day basis. So they go from today, and then they go 365 days back. So it gets updated every day. So within those 365 days, you need to have 4,000 watched hours on YouTube. and that's to be able to be monetized so that you can add like advertising and stuff like that. That is, if we divide that by 365, whoop, that is like over 10 hours a day of watch hours of people that needs to watch your videos all up for like that many hours per day to be able to run ads and stuff on your YouTube. But oh, you're at work, at the airport. Here we go. You did so well with your live yesterday, Bridget. I was able to catch up after. So Bridget actually is one of my colleagues for another company that we work with as well. It's like a health company, and no, I'm not sure if that works. Like I've posted, like you saw, I posted the link, which is why you're here, because you saw I posted it, the link to it. But I don't know if I can actually link the whole live as such, like so that it will run both places simultaneously. I'm not sure about that. But that would be awesome if you could, and especially if the view times would count as well, but I doubt it very much because as far as I know, YouTube and Facebook are not run by the same people. Oh, hi, Miss T. How are you? Good to see you here. So we've been, Misty, I don't know how long you've been in here for, but yeah, I've been just doing my meal plan and stuff. So also thought yes, it's definitely hard to get the hours. Lots of hard work trying to also connect with others, other YouTubers, comment on theirs, make sure that they get their hours as well, and try to make networking and make relationships with everyone, which is important. So yeah, what are you up to today, Miss T? Hope you're having a good day. But yeah, just doing live streams actually helps a lot with people's view hours, because your viewers are often more inclined to stay later and stay for longer as well, and watch for a longer amount of time, which is good because you can interact with people as well, so you can ask questions and stuff. Yeah, exactly, Kimmy. Unless suddenly, YouTube decides to actually suggest one of your videos. So say when you go into YouTube and you you go into the home page, what you get on your home page is the videos that YouTube has suggested for you. Sometimes, and that could take a long time, and it may never happen, YouTube might suggest one of your videos. And what happens when this is first thing people see in their home screen when they go into YouTube is that they're more likely to click on it. And that's often when you get like a huge spike in viewers and stuff, and you often get a whole lot more subscribers, and that can take a long time. Just the fact that I managed to get myself over 300 subscribers in about a month, I'm actually really happy with. I never thought I'd be able to even get there, so I'm stoked. Just resting. Misty, where are you located? So I think we're a bit all over the place. Me and Bridget, we are actually in the same state in Australia. Kimmy, if you know Kimmy, she's in Jamaica. So yeah, I think it's getting late sort of over that sort of areas. I don't know. So if it's late or if it's daytime, nighttime or daytime where you are. So yeah, so one of the things I've done just before as well, so with the meal plan, was that I went through a little bit of where you can swap things to make your traditional dishes more low carb friendly. with my pasta, I've found at my shops, I've found this organic black bean pasta that I use instead of regular pasta. If you can't find that, you can just use things like, you're in Chicago. Oh, amazing. I've never been to Chicago. I've only ever been to the southern USA. I've been to Florida twice, back when my dad was alive. And yeah, I absolutely loved Florida. I absolutely loved Florida, and I'd love to actually go and see more of the US as well. Especially so the more northern parts where you get more seasons, and you'll have all the seasons in Chicago, won't you? Oh, it's getting late. Oh dear. Someone decided to grab the bread knife. He must have climbed up on the bench. Let's see, I'll be back in 2 minutes. There we go. All right, I'm back. He was out playing in the water before, which is why he's just in a nappy or diaper, as you say over in the USA. In case you have no idea what I mean when I'm saying nappy. And he just decided he wanted me to give him a sandwich, so he just brought the bread knife to me. Oh, goodness. But he's got a sandwich, so he's happy for a while. So for those that don't know, my son is non-verbal and he's autistic, so sometimes communication can be difficult, but we try, and he's getting there. He's getting there slowly, but he hasn't quite gotten the whole thing about, calling for Mai to come and help. He just goes and does stuff, and he does it very, very quietly. Yeah, I think he's pretty beautiful too, Kimmy. Sure does. He's gorgeous. He's my absolute joy. Even though sometimes when he wakes up at 4:30 in the morning, I'd rather he go to sleep. But he's still cute. Let's see. All right, now, anyone of you got any questions that I can help with or answer? Anything about, I don't know, food-wise, weight loss-wise, anything like that, and I can try to help as much as I can. Let's see. Anyone? Yeah, that's all right. I think I'm probably going to, so it's 2 o'clock here, which means the school will finish in about an hour. So I've got I'll go and pick up. So I need to pick one up, and the other one walks home, because the high school is really close to us, so it doesn't take too long to walk. Luckily for my oldest one, my teenager, but the other one, he's he's a little bit impulsive, so I don't trust him to walk home. So I go pick him up as well. I was thinking of some videos and stuff to make. Is there anything particular that you guys would like to see me do a recipe on? If anyone's got any ideas, is there any sort of kind of food that you'd like to try, but you've been a bit worried to try it, that I could do a recipe video on, or anything like that? And I'd love to be able to oblige. The next one I'm actually thinking of making is a keto bread. So I'm going to try to make a macadamia loaf, which is something I've never Never done before. I got to get to French class. Yes, thank you so much, Kimmy, for popping in and for sending a few other people this way as well. I really, really appreciate it. And I think possibly start wrapping it up shortly anyway. I think so far this is actually my longest live. So yeah, it's been a good start with a few lives and things. So yes, green smoothies. That's actually, I actually mentioned that. I think that was just before you came on actually. That I'm going to do some green smoothies. I might film that. I'll try to film that this week if I can. So with this week and next week, I reckon I will be able to do that. But because I've just got some spirulina powder that I'm dying to try out, and that will make an awesome green smoothie. So I might do that. Beautiful. Well, you gave me something to think about. Alrighties, I might just wrap this up and say thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. And hope you have a fantastic day and enjoy your French class, Kimmy. Alright.